guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on our YouTube account and we are looking at our guild, and of course we are looking at the Hellscape, guys. So the Cursed Realm actually changed. Now it is the Demonic Entity or Dark Namora. I'm going to run through the team comps that we're going to use. I'm going to run through the leaderboard team comps that we're seeing. In addition, I'm also going to show you the alt variations that we've seen. Big shout out to In Season and Jason Lee for the comps. You can see right now we're at the top 10%, but we still have 5 days, guys. So a lot of time to still go through this event. Now, looking at the heroes that we have, again, kind of the breakdown. First team, of course, we have Mishka and we have Kren. We have Oden for the crowd control. Damon and Mishka will hold all of the enemies right here in the back, which is exactly the way this team built. Works incredibly well because a majority of these heroes I do have built out quite a bit. Now this one, of course, Scarlet Grez. Scarlet just rains fire on everybody. I wish I had Silas built up a little bit more for the damage mitigation. Grez has pretty good survival. Also with Astrilda, Astrilda does a defense rating buff, and she also does an attack rating buff, which I like. Twins, of course, Super Cycle linking these two together. So Scarlet and Grez will actually be linked together. Now, Team 3, this is the variation of Torn, which is very, very cool to see Torn down here, and Moria. Moria will actually continue and keep everyone within her star moving, which means that when Torn ults, they will take damage. So Torn is really the damage driver in here. We also have the energy regeneration or the energy boost from Aziz, which results in Torn ulting much more often. We also do have Hodgkin in here as a buffer and a crowd controller. Then, of course, Sorath was a plus 30 signature item, is going to allow for a consistent healing within this group, while we have Aziz doing the damage mitigation with his ground burn. Now, in our fourth team, guys, this is an expensive team. So we do have Frampton in here. We do have Lucretia in here. This one I cannot get to seem to work very well. I'm not sure if Frampton has to be a little bit higher with the 9 of 9 furniture, or if Lorzen does have to be built up a little bit more to provide a lot more of the shielding aspect. But this is a team that I really, really do struggle with. We have seen it in the past. This is the team. It seems to die out incredibly fast, and I'm not 100% sure exactly why. This one, of course, we have crowd control. Then we have the boost right here of Albedo on Ainz and on Leonardo, as well as herself. So a good combination right here. We have a big bonus in here with Helos being completely built and providing the shielding aspect and the energy regeneration to this entire team. And then for the final team, we have Awakened Talene and we have Awakened Thane. Even though my Awakened Thane is not too built, I'm going to go ahead and run him in here. Now, some of the variations within here, I'm definitely going to try out. Cecilia, I know I do need built up quite a bit. Cecilia, similar to Drez, seems like they are niche heroes at best, but they are used in a couple different formations. We see her actually appearing in a different formations, a couple different formations, working incredibly well and really putting out a ton of damage. The Bane of Thane is what I'm calling it, guys. I have spent an incredible amount of my time emblems trying to get Thane. Haven't been able to pull any copies, and I did not get Talene, the Ascended version of Talene either. So big shout out to Hopu for letting me borrow them. The beginning of the battle, guys. Again, we're just going to skip over this one. I want to show you what the top teams kind of look like, but how this is kind of the logic behind it. You can see, guys, Oden will teleport everyone until they get back right in this back corner of the combat, meaning that Kren is going to ult and it will literally just lock everybody back just like that, guys. The remainder of the battle, of course, we get really, really big buffs out from Mortis with his greed ability, and then everyone just stays locked in here. Mishka's wolves are in there. We also do have Damon. Stitchy is actually in there. You can see the teddy bear fighting right there. And then Kren, of course, just ulting over and over and over. You'll see as soon as he does ult, it goes back to full, or it literally just stays full. So there's the ult. And you can see, guys, he's not even done ulting. The bar is already entirely filled up again, meaning that we are just really maximizing the damage in here. Mishka has the shielding aspect in here as well as the healing aspect, which I love with that 9 of 9 furniture. Kren, of course, we could get him to the plus 60 signature, or excuse me, the plus 60 engraving. Same with Oden, the plus 60 engraving on both of those being damage dealing heroes. Need the stats essentially to really supercharge what we have on there. This one reliant on Scarlet just raining fire. Now, the problem with Scarlet Raining Fire, Grez, of course, is going to be bringing up minions consistently this entire battle. But the problem with Scarlet Raining Fire is there is the RNG aspect of it hitting your own heroes. If it does, the majority of the time, it will just kill your heroes. Having these minions up, so having Grez's minions up here, they can take some of the fodder that we see with her ultimate abilities, meaning that they break the shields, they kill the minions versus killing out your heroes. Estrilda, of course, I could have built up just a little bit more, but we're getting some decent uptime in here. If your heroes are dying long before the minute 30 is up, battles last a minute 30, you need to change up some formations. You might need to adjust some of your heroes in here. Find out what is really working. Again, I know in this formation, Silas has a damage mitigation factor when you start getting the engraving built on there. But overall, guys, I'm happy with the 2.5, 2.6 billion damage we're doing out here. First team did about 3 billion, which was awesome to see. It looks like some pretty good synergy on this one. Again, if your heroes last almost the entire battle with this Enrage Timer, works incredible, guys. Works incredibly well. Here, of course, this is about getting them to move. So if Muriel dies early, just like we've seen there, guys, it's not going to work. You're not going to have the feasibility. You're not going to have the movement out of this formation, which is going to result, as you can see, not really doing much damage whatsoever because Muriel actually died out so early, meaning Torn is not going to provide the damage that he needs to. And she's pretty built. I know we don't have the engraving on her, but we do have the plus 30 signature item. We have the 9 of 9 furniture. We also have her geared out with her tier 3 gear. So it seemed like the first two teams were really good RNG. Seems like this third team, not really so much. And this one, again, trying to get this to work, guys. I think it's Lorzen. I think I do need Lorzen built up a little bit higher to get this one to work. It's got a lot of RNG because even their Skarath does go down relatively early. Looking at our damage, guys, not a whole lot of damage. I think Frampton needs a little bit more of the furniture built. I don't have the 9 of 9 furniture on Frampton yet, which I'm sure makes a big difference. But both of those last two teams, guys, not doing much damage whatsoever. Now this one, of course, relying on Ainz's ult, guys. He just blows up everything. But again, the RNG factor, if he dies early, like we've seen right there, this is the reason they give you 10 attempts on here, is because if he dies early, essentially the damage is shot. He usually does 1.8 billion in here. But again, with the early death of Ainz, not going to work at all. If we can get Leonardo to actually ult a little bit faster, and again, possibly looking at getting some more engraving. Once I hit level 600 is my goal for my power leveling. I'm actually going to switch everything over to engraving. So I'm going to pick up shards and cores a lot faster, pick them up out of the events and everything else. Then, of course, in here, guys, we have the awakened version of Talene. Both Thane and Talene do an incredible amount of damage in here. Thane, of course, when he kills a target, he actually just teleports to the next target. So theoretically, if I had Thane built out pretty high, he would literally just teleport target to target to target, instantly killing them, again, because of the damage factor that he has in here. You can see overall, Talene doing quite a bit of damage, burning up these baby drafts or Dreefs. But overall, guys, Thane really slacking. The Bane of Thane continues. I am hoping this week with our summons, I have about 27 cards out of there right now. We know Awakened Brutus is coming. So even though I'm not going to be building Awakened Brutus unless he's super broken, I am going to continue to build out Thane. Depending where Talene and Brutus kind of fall in relationship, I might go ahead and circle back and build out the Awakened version of Talene. That way I have her to build within there. So my first one, a little bit higher. You can see, guys, the RNG factor in here. So let's take a quick look at the leaderboard. Leaderboard, of course, this is the team we have. They have the plus 80 engraving on everyone, completely maxed out. This one, of course, Scarlet, guys, 4 billion. Look at everybody else. Nothing. Absolutely nothing because of the 4 billion there. This one, again, relying on Torn. I feel like I got to build him up a little bit more, get some mitigation. And also with Muriel, I feel like that engraving piece on Muriel would definitely help in there. Here, Lucretia, and look at that. Kayleen, we do not have yet, so unfortunately we cannot use her. But they dropped out my copy of Frampton, and they put in Kayleen in here. Look at that. Maximizing the damage, guys. Over 1 billion damage. 2.73 here from Ainz. And then the final formation is hidden, but we did see it requiring that awakened version of Thane. So let's go ahead, guys. We're going to hop over and check out the other comps that they have in there, some variable comps that you can use in here. I'll also put a link down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. So let's hop over and take a look at it. All right, guys, so here it is again. I will put a link down to this below. Big shout out to Jason Lee and to In Season. AFK Analytica is where I'm pulling this from over on Reddit. So looking at our teams, guys, of course, we had Kren and Mishka. This team working incredibly well. That is why it is the best in slot team. If you don't have Mishka built, you can see there are a couple variations, including Isolde in there, and it also does have Damon in there, which again will affect a bunch of other formations, but you can see how it's going to work in here. Kren and Oden and Mortis, absolutely a requirement within this formation. It does include Silas in some of the alt comps in there. Now, R2, Scarlet, guys. Scarlet, Grez, twins. You can see this is the big formation. If you don't have the heroes, you'll have to put in pretty much whoever you have. But we have Estrilda in here for the buffs. If you don't possess Estrilda, you can actually drop Damon in here. You can drop Rowan in here. There are a couple variations, including down here looking at Rosaline. Now, Team 3, less variations within this because it relies on Torn. Unfortunately, a lot of players do not have Torn built. He's a hero that doesn't have much utility, and he actually does not work if you do not have Moreel. So these, again, kind of go hand in hand. Again, if you're missing Moreel, you can't use Torn, vice versa. If you don't have Torn, there's no reason in here for Moreel. So you'll actually go to a Mishka and a Raku combination. Of course, this is mega crowd control, guys. So in this third team, looking at Mishka, Raku, Khazard for the duration extension, and then we do have Leonardo da Vinci in there. Huge crowd control team that you can see built right there. R4, of course, we have Frampton in our formation. I'm going to try Zafriel in there. Again, I want to change up some of these formations. I feel like having Lorzen built up a little bit higher, providing the shielding aspect that we need, could make a very big difference in this one and in the survivability. Frampton, I do have built out short of that 9 of 9 furniture. I have a plus 60 engraving on him. I have the plus 30 signature item. We have him completely geared out. So again, I'm going to try this probably once or twice more with our Frampton comp. Then I'm going to try swapping in Zafriel. If that is not working well, I'm going to put Iran in there. I'm going to go through this formation, making sure that we can really maximize the damage that we have in there. Of course, here you can't have Ainz die out. If Ainz die is out incredibly early, unfortunately, it's not going to work. You can see in every single one of these formations, we do have Ainz in here and we do have Helos in here. They're two big priorities, heroes to build, guys. Helos, very unique with what he does. The shielding aspect, the energy aspect works incredibly well. And then, of course, on the very right, we have our boss comps. You have the awakened version of Thane, and then you have the regular Thane. Now, one of the substitutes for the non-awakened Thane, so the regular version of Thane, is he does require this plus 60 signature item to do incredibly well. Then, of course, the Prince of Persia, guys, will do incredibly well because of the AoE stun aspect. Does a lot of damage, so if there's some of the Dreefs that are low, he can actually finish them out. Old School has Shamira in there, and then we have Audrey in here as well. I'm kind of interested with this last comp too, because if you remember, Moreel and Skarath were the actual two that we normally use in the regular Dark Namora. But again, a little bit of a variation in here. I could probably try this alternative as well. Again, this is the best in slot, but I believe this is updated for 1.89. If I remember correctly, it is like 1.89. I'm trying to pull it up right now to take a look, but 1.89 is where it is currently updated to. So unfortunately, it doesn't have some of the new heroes, so we don't have Kylie in here in this best in slot that we're seeing within the formations, because this hasn't been updated in the last 2 patches, 3 patches. Hasn't been updated in the last 3 patches, but very, very cool to see here, guys. You can check out the leaderboard. You can check out your variations and formations. A lot of these heroes are staple, and a lot of them are used within meta comps, which is the reason why we wanted to look at building those. So guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.